Hi, I'm Liz Baleja, and I'm an account manager at imageOne. In the managed print world, few numbers have more importance than the CPP or the cost per page. I'm here to explain how a managed print provider determines what the cost per page for your organization will be on your managed print contract. When a managed print provider starts looking at your equipment to determine what the cost per page should be on your managed print contract, the first thing we look at is the age of your devices. If you have devices that are very old, or we like to call them legacy devices, that means that the parts might be really hard to find. When they're hard to find, they're more expensive to find. And if they're expensive to the provider, that means that your cost per page might be higher to cover those costs. The second thing we look at when we're taking a look at your printer fleet is how many devices that you have. If you have a lot of devices going under managed print, we may be able to lower your cost per page. Whereas if we're only putting 2 or 3 devices under a managed print contract, we may have to raise the cost per page to make sure that we're covering our costs for service and consumables. Next, in terms of the equipment, we're determining which devices are mono and which devices are color. Color devices have 4 cartridges, cyan, yellow, magenta, and black, versus mono devices which only have the black cartridge. This means that color devices have a higher cost per page because your managed print provider is providing 4 different cartridges for that device in order for it to work properly. Finally, the location of the devices matters. If the location of your devices is nearby to where the managed print provider is located, you can often save on your cost per page because the managed print provider can use their own technician to service those devices. If the managed print provider has to partner with a national service technician or organization, then your cost per page may go up because your managed print provider will also accrue extra costs from sending out those technicians. Other than just the equipment, a managed print provider will also look at the level of service that the customer requires before determining what the cost per page should be. For example, if the customer wants an on-site technician or they want a technician to do proactive visits or monthly cleanings on their devices, then their cost per page may go up to cover these additional services. Once we've determined what the cost per page should be for all the different make and models in your fleet, we will do what's called a blended rate. It's basically like an average of all of the cost per pages for all of your different devices to determine what one good rate would be best for your organization. There will be one blended rate for mono devices and one blended rate for color devices. Again, because color devices are more expensive to manage. Once we have those blended rates, we'll put that on your contract with a minimum number of pages that we think that you'll be printing every month, and that determines what your monthly invoice will be on your managed print contract. That doesn't mean that you're locked into that cost per page forever. If you decide to do a device refresh and have newer devices or devices that can take a higher capacity toner cartridge, then talk to your managed print provider because that may in turn mean that your cost per page can be lowered. If you've already signed a contract and have a set cost per page but are interested in updating your fleet, reach out to your managed print provider to see if they can help recommend the correct equipment that would lower your cost per page. If you haven't signed a contract yet, but you're interested in reaching out to a managed print provider to see what your cost per page would be, just let us know and we can help find the best fit for you.